grab the tail and wrap it around your middle finger, crisscrossing the working yarn in the front with the tail hanging down. Now go under the tail, grab your working yarn and do a chain, and then we do 6 single crochets. So this was row 1. Grab your marker, we are ready for row 2. Into the first single crochet we will do an increase, which means 2 single crochets, and then we'll do an increase in each stitch, which means each stitch will get 2 single crochets for a total of 12 single crochets at the end of the round. Back here at the beginning, now I can tighten my magic ring. Move your marker under your hook, and now the next row will be increase, and then 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then we have increase again and 1 single crochet into the next stitch till the end of the round. Row number 4 starts with an increase, and 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches. Row number 5 starts with an increase and 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches. We go in a continuous spiral, so we do not slip stitch into the first stitch. So after reaching 30 stitches in the round, we're going to stop increasing and we'll have 3 rounds with just no increases. I'm ready to close the top of my bird. So chain 1, and I'll be picking the 2 loops from the stitch from the front, and then I'll be going into the back and I'll pick that one stitch that's right before the chain 1 here. So I'll be grabbing them both and I'll be doing slip stitches. And I'll do this, and again I'll grab the front stitch and 1 stitch from the back, and I'll do a slip stitch. And I'll do this till I reach over here, and I'll count 12 stitches till I have some opening here left of 12 stitches for the head, and I'll be stuffing at the same time. So my 12 stitches are right over here, that's left. I counted them twice. So from grabbing our working yarn from the back, we'll just continue doing single crochets all the way for 2 rows, and again there'll be continuous spiral. This is our beginning. Right, so I stuffed the head, and then now we'll be decreasing till we have 6 stitches left. It means we'll be picking the front of our loops, and then we'll be decreasing from there. I'll switch to a smaller crochet hook because it looks like I did tighten those stitches very well, since I don't want to have a hole here. And then picking 2 front loops from the next 2 stitches, we'll do a single crochet here. Make sure you tighten. This is our first decrease, so we'll do 6 decreases altogether, and I have 5 more to go. So here's the second decrease, just picking the front loops of our stitches, and I'll meet you at the end. All right, so leave a longer tail here, so we can use that one as a hanging loop here, and then we'll go finish that hole that we still have there because we still have those 6 stitches here. And then you get your tapestry needle, and then grabbing the front loops of the stitches, just make sure you go around that last hole, those last stitches you have there, and then tighten that hole. Now here you can make a little knot, and then using that hole there, the middle, get your needle and then walk your thread towards the middle of the bird, of the back of the bird. So you can have your hanging loop there. You decide how long you want your loop to be. And then I did a knot here and pushing that knot all the way of the base of the bird. then I got this tail inside of it. And I went in and out through a few stitches so it's secure. So now grab your thinner hook and your lightweight yarn. For the bird, I used 4-weight yarn, but for the decorations and the tail, I'm using a 3-weight yarn, so which is a little bit thinner, and it makes a finer detail. So I can remove my marker from here. And then going into the tail of the bird, but flattening it so I can find that spot where I can start my tail with, so it lays flat on this side. And you can get that flatter look when you wet it a little bit and you flatten it with your fingers while it's still wet. It stays like that. All right, so here I'll make first a knot, and then I can hide the end of the knot inside the bird, so you can make a longer tail there. And then go into the tail and pull your knot through. And do 1 chain here, chain 6, and then going back into the tail, we do a slip stitch, and then we chain 6, and we do 2 more loops like this for a total of 3 loops. I cut my yarn already, but I left a longer tail, so I can use it for embroidering the rest of it. So from here, I'll pull this inside, I'll pull the tail inside, and I will start embroidering. I have 2 options here. I will be showing this version. However, you can also go and do a simple one with some knots. And the eye could be this way, it could be this way, like the beak. We'll go from the tail inside, and then we will come out at the corner over here that's lined up with the bird's neck. So all the way up here, 2 rows down from the seam, going back into the same hole, go diagonally under that row and come up, making that distance a little bit longer compared to the rest of them. Then wrap your yarn around it, pull your yarn, do not tighten too much, and then go back into the same hole and come out from the base of the leaf. All right, so we're gonna go and we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. You prepare your yarn up, go through the base, making sure we're on the same level with this first stitch. Come up, wrap your yarn around, and then pull just enough. Do not tighten too much. If you tighten it, just help yourself with the needle and just make it a tiny bit bigger. Then go back and you go in the middle of your stitch, since we'll be doing the next set of leaves. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the same thing for 2 more times. We will be going up towards the eyes. So pick 1 row down from the top and then go backwards, a row up, so we can make it slanted, and then go back to the middle of the head so we can make the beak, and we go 1 row down from the eye, or you can make whatever eye you would like. Then over here we'll be doing the beak. Actually, I'll go 1 more row down. It feels like it's too upwards, and then we'll make a little triangle. So if this is your middle, we'll go to the side and we'll go parallel 1 stitch over, and now we'll go back to the beginning in the middle, and we'll go in the opposite side where our eye is. And if you want to make an eye that's like a dot, you come out from the place you want, go a stitch lower, insert your needle and come up with the needle again. Then grab the yarn that comes from the base of your needle, and wrap it around your needle 3 times. Pull up carefully so you don't make that knot too far up. Pull, pull, pull gently. And now that you have that knot over here, go back into the hole and then come out at the space where you need to make your second wing. And here is a little eye that's like a dot. And now we're gonna have to make the same leaves, and here's some water. which I will use to wet the tail. It just helps the yarn relax, and then it's easier to mold. And here's my little birdie. And here's its little friend. And here are all the materials I used. And for my 4-weight yarn, I did use 4mm crochet hook for tighter stitches, and then for the 3-weight yarn, I used a 3mm crochet hook so I can go through the holes much easier. Also, an e-needle with a blunt tip so it doesn't split the yarn, scissors, and some stuffing, which I will leave links down below for you to find them easier online. And I will appreciate if you use those links. They help this channel stay free for everyone to use with all these tutorials and patterns. Subscribe to the channel and watch the next video with the next Christmas tree decoration. Happy holidays!